Any animals we lose through health, when they die, we put them in our death pit. We put the groundswell, spray them with groundswell, then we start moving the humisoil that we've from one end of the pit across and cover the animals. And within a couple of months, just about everything has disappeared. A few bones are still there, but just about totally disappeared. The animals that were buried here, is probably about 10 months ago, and then the bones break up very easily. So in that time, they break up, and then when we spread the humisoil on the paddocks, you only find very, very small particles where the animal was, or where the bones were. So there was an animal right in there, and you can see there how it's just totally composted. So that's, you know, there's a fair bit of white there, isn't there? See, look at that. I think it's a beautiful smell, but I just really just such an earthy, probably fresh earth. And even the lumps like that, you know, right in the centre. Since we've put 2 tonnes to the hectare of humisoil on this country, which is not terribly fertile country, we found that in the areas, say around here, you can see that the improved pasture, the buffel grass, is just there. We're noticing these patches, green patches, which are much, much denser and holding their colour longer, and my hope is that they will fill in as we go down the track. There's a tremendous difference between just out there and what these, but we aren't grazing it very heavily. This paddock, I took the cattle out of it this morning after only one day. We just gave them 1 day graze, and then about 11 o'clock this morning I moved them into the top paddock. So there would be around about 600 head of cattle on 40 hectares. Paddocks that are a bit more, you know, where the pasture is more established, we would probably leave them there at least 2 days. When the dung lands on the ground, nice dung sort of spreads out and is quite soft and doesn't get very high, which means it's a high protein. The cattle have got plenty of protein. If it starts lumping up and sort of having form like curves and whatever in it, you really need to get a protein into them and their performance will be very low. Their dung is fantastic at the moment, and we're probably getting about 1.2 per day in the paddock. Fairly heavy on nitrogen, so it must be getting its nitrogen from somewhere. And it's I'll have to think about that. Dad came here in 1937, I think, so yeah, I've been here by school. I didn't realise this Mitchell grass really, as a young, as a 15-year-old, I can remember seeing some, or 10-year-old, but I haven't seen it for years. We are very encouraged. See the size of this. Now, this is a native millet, so I can hardly ever remember seeing that grass, but we are noticing that, just trying to look for, no, there's more bamboo for you. Lots of natives, like really leafy looking natives like that, which is called a millet, native millet. And we're just starting to see a lot of that coming back again now. I would like, but in the last 12 months it is starting to respond very well. So much better. Yes, I assume that the extra foliage and litter on the ground has helped hold the moisture in there, but it also must have used a lot more moisture to get the extra growth to get to this stage. So it would appear that I think that the biology must be working. There, I mean, that to me is just so encouraging. Yeah. And then you look down in here and you see all this trash from it as well.